wanna get to your clothes, gotta get it right now. I wanna push all the limits with you right now. So watch your feelings, the city's screaming, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in the world, gotta get it right now. People talk and tell what you wanna hear now, but they all disappear, they will let you down. So we better stick together, let's come whatever, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in the world, gotta get it right now. We only need the two of us together. I need only you in this crazy world, 'cause we got love, love. I need only you here with me. You wanna get close to me, why don't you do it right now?
Thank you, everyone. If you're still standing, please take your seats. We are about to begin the reception. Hello, everyone. By way of introduction, my name is Nisa, and I am, again, like one of you guys, one of their friends. I'll be the MC for the night. Now, to kick off the reception, we're going to be doing the introduction of the wedding party. So feel free to scream, feel free to shout, clap. If you're a little tipsy like I am right now, feel free to scream and clap, but we'll get the show started. So, by way of introduction, everyone, please welcome the first couple, Hannah and Calvin. Followed by Dan and Avante. Next, we have up Nick and Erica. Make some noise. A little bit of groove. Hey, hey, hey. Making their way down. All right. And the stars of the show, the superstars of the night, actually be upstanding for this one. I need you guys to stand up for this one. As we welcome Mr. and Mrs. Wow! And Evan! Yay! Thank you, wedding party. Thank you so much. Everyone, feel free to take a seat. And Evan! Yay! And Otto! Thank you very much. Please take a seat, please take a seat. Take many seats. Okay, so just to get this out of the way, I'm just going to talk through a couple of housekeeping rules. Ooh. So first of all, the bathroom, if you have not been to the bathroom just yet, we have a unisex toilet just down there. And then we also have a unisex toilet just upstairs, as well as a male and female bathroom. As well as that, we also have a smoking and vaping area for everyone who vapes these days, just outside of the gates. In saying that, yes, welcome to the reception. Make another noise for the wedding party. Thank you very much. So the next part of this reception is the entree will be served. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Feel free to groove if you'd like while the music plays. Thank you. As we get into this next stage, next process of the reception. And so for the next 15 minutes, I'll be inviting the father of the bride, Mr. Otto, to do a speech. Followed by that, we'll also ask the mother of the groom to do a speech. Father of the groom to do a speech after that. So first, I'll ask the father of the bride first to do a speech. Wherever he is. Father! So, Otto is busy at the moment. We will ask the father of the groom for now to do the speech, followed by the father of the bride. Yeah. Might have to move to this side.
Easy.
Hello. Thank you, everybody, everyone, to come here to enjoy the dinner. So it's to join the Godwin and the Winnie. And I bless, congratulations, and all wishes for the best of everything, for all life ahead. Especially appreciate and to give us, bring two angels, my grandson and granddaughter. So it's I hope they can happy, always happy, and healthy grow up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, it's beautiful, thank you. We'll now have the father of the bride. Please make his way up to the stage. Just over here, where the flower is.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Ni hao. Oh, my friends from China. I'm the father of the bride. And we were living in Singapore for like 17 years. And my daughter, one day, she brought home this handsome man. Yep. He looked very much the same. Dark hair, nice smile, straight up. He looked very smart, I tell you. I said, this guy is special. Special in the way that he was nice, friendly. You educated him very well. He was well behaved. He introduced himself. I was deeply impressed. And I maybe was impressed as much as my daughter. She fell in love with him. I didn't need to because I'm married already. But I tell you, I liked him from the day number one. And that was because he just fit into the whole family. Yeah, he was always there, and even as he moved in, as Anna said, he was happy to live high up in the high-rise building at that time. I never had complaints from everybody. He was always there, behaving well, as he always belonged to us. And so, I was happy that I saw that he liked him so much that they moved together. Then they were looking for a job in Europe. Everybody maybe wants to go to Europe. But we had Brexit. Not a good time for job search, job hunting. He got an offer down under, so they came back. Australia is not the first choice for European. It's a nice place, but it's too far away from the rest of the world. Nevertheless, you have to go where your heart is taking you to. So they ended up here. And then we had COVID. Oh, that gave me some headaches. This young couple moved into a flat downtown Melbourne, and Melbourne had one of the toughest lockdowns here, and it was running for 2 years. I had some doubt. 2 years locked up, even with a nice woman and a nice man, is a tough time. I'm married for long years. I know what I'm talking about. But they made it to these 2 years. And after the lockdown opened, I said, that's it. If you can manage to live 2 years together so close, and you still love each other, then that's a perfect match. And then they decided, okay, we cannot prepare for marriage because nobody can come. We had the lockdown. Let's make a family first. And then Evan came, and they invited us to support during this first birth. And I was very happy to have a grandchild. Here he is. And so all of us were very happy, and as Anna said outside, they both came over to Europe. They were like part of the family all the time. So, and now we are half Chinese and half German. We have hybrid grandchildren. Very good. So I only can wish the couple a very happy life, long year, and I know that all of our families from China, from Australia, from Germany will support you in the best way possible. And I'm happy. I did not lose my daughter, because once you have a child, you will never lose it. They're always behind you. But I got one more son, and you got one more daughter. So, congratulations to the couple.
Thank you. Well said. Well said. And I can attest to that. How I met Anne and Godwin, I was their concierge in that apartment that Otto was talking about. And they did set a great example of not just what a couple looks like, but what a companionship looks like. So, cheers to that. In saying that, we're just going to take a couple of seconds. I'll be back shortly, so enjoy the conversations. So please be with me as we welcome the special guests of the night. Scream, shout, clap. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Another round of applause. That was amazing. Woo. Amazing. So now the mains will be served. Continue your conversations and enjoy it. All right, so we're just going to move into some more speeches. Not to threat, we're about to hit the dance floor shortly. But before then, we'll head into a few speeches. First by the best man, Nick himself. Followed by Nick, we'll also have the maid of honor, Erica. And then after that, we'll also hear from the groom. So, Nick, please take the stage. Round of applause for Nick, the best man.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you for all being here. For those who don't know me, my name is Nick. And I have the great honour of being Godwin's best man. I first met Godwin over a decade ago in the Cubo alert, go away. Over a decade ago in the Westpac graduate program. When I saw him for the first time, I thought to myself, this guy must be gay. I had never seen someone so impeccably presented. The dapper suit, flawless skin, a perfect jawline, and those matching dimples. He spoke so eloquently, knew too much about shoes, and had a smile that could light up any room. Turns out he wasn't gay, he was just ahead of his time. And that is where our bromance began. Later that week, we joined a touch rugby team. He was telling us how he played rugby and was a rower in high school. So I went in there with high expectations. I soon realised that beneath the peaked lapel, tie and cufflinks was a guy who couldn't catch a ball to save his life. And I found out that an athlete from a selective high school doesn't mean much. But what he lacked in hand-eye coordination and dexterity, he made up for with his big heart and genuine personality. Anyone who knows Godwin knows he is never short of creating memorable moments, often at his expense. One time we were in a party in Cancun. Godwin, in true Godwin fashion, decided the dance floor wasn't enough and jumped into the pool to get the party started. The only problem? His shoes got stolen and he had to walk back to the hotel barefoot. Speaking of clothing, Godwin is also notorious for spilling food on his shirts and splitting his pants. The problem is, he's a little clumsy, his ass is suspiciously large, and he has a love for tailored pants. Later in that same trip, we visited a natural swimming hole. A few of us had just shown off our perfect backflips into the water from a 2-story diving area. Godwin, not to be outdone, gave it a go. Except halfway through, he seemed to change his mind. Instead of gracefully flipping, he paused mid-air and landed flat on his back. Imagine a cat always landing on its feet, but swap the cat for Godwin and the feet for his back. Or there was the time we spent New Year's in New York City. We'd gone all out. Matching blazers, a fancy bar, hundreds of dollars spent to make it a night to remember. And it was, just not quite how we expected. Godwin was commanding the dance floor as usual, but before we could get to the countdown, the bouncers decided we were having too much fun. Immediately after being warned, Godwin said, "Fuck that guy," and kept at it. And sure enough, Godwin and I were kicked out into the snowy streets while everyone else was counting down to midnight inside. We spent New Year's Eve huddled outside together, trying to stay warm. Godwin is not only the life of the party, he has an infectious positivity and kindness. He'll always have your back and has the uncanny ability to make life unforgettable. All important things that make him a perfect partner for Anne. Fast forward to the day he asked me to be his best man. By then, months had passed since their engagement. Honestly, I started to think he wasn't going to ask me at all. I tried to downplay it. It has to be Evan. How can I compete with his own son? He has other friends. We're not even that close, I told myself. But when the call finally came, I was elated. I asked him, "What took you so long?" And in that classic Godwin puppy dog tone, he said, "I didn't think you'd say yes." It felt like I was in a Julia Roberts rom-com. And that sums up Gotti. At times, he can be unsure of himself, even a little vulnerable, but beneath that is a man who is kind, gentle, and deeply wants to be loved. And he wants to hear it too. Which brings me to Anne. I first realised how impressive Anne is when I was getting married. Godwin was my best man and had to arrive at the wedding venue near Sydney a day earlier for rehearsals. Anne had to be in Melbourne that day, so she would have come up the next day, right? No big deal. Well, Anne was 8 months pregnant with Evan at the time. She had every right to take it easy, skip the trip, send her wishes, and Godwin would be home in a couple of days. But that's not Anne. Anne is made of stronger stuff. Anne flew to Sydney, rented a car, and drove 3 hours to the venue all by herself, and stayed the entire day and night. Anne, I'll always be grateful that you came to my wedding. But more importantly, I'm grateful knowing Godwin has you. Someone who makes life's challenges seem small and provides the love, support, commitment, and strength that every marriage needs. I vividly remember a chat Godwin and I had not long into your relationship. We were talking about our futures. Godwin said, "She's the one. She's my best friend." Anne, you are the other half of Godwin that I never realised he was missing. You are his balance and his biggest supporter. You've built a beautiful life, faced challenges, and grown together. Godwin is a better man because of you. Godwin, you're more than a brother, you're my best friend. I couldn't be happier for you and Anne, and I wish you nothing but happiness, love, and a lifetime of great memories. Let's face it, you are incapable of looking after yourself, aside from your skincare, but together with Anne, you make an incredible team. So ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses to Godwin and Anne, two extraordinary people who show us how beautiful life can be. To Godwin and Anne.
Thank you very much, Nick. That was awesome. Round of applause for Nick. Thank you. So next, I'm just going to hand the microphone over to the maid of honor, Erica. Everyone, welcome Erica. Welcome Erica to the stage.
Hello everyone, I'm Erica, the maid of honor, the bride's best friend, and sister from another mother. We call each other Tweenie, not only because we have so much in common, but also because in the past, even our mothers confused us sometimes. Anyway, Anne and I, we go way back to our modeling days in Singapore. We met at a modeling job where we instantly clicked and became inseparable from then on. Even distance couldn't separate us. My dearest Tweenie, we have been through so much and have created many beautiful memories together. I remember our fun stayovers, our clubbing days, our modeling days, our travels, our family celebrating Chinese New Year every year together, and regretting our bad choices of boys in life. Thankfully, we had each other, and it's all a history now. Even though I'm the older one, you've always felt like a big sister to me. You're always the tougher one, a fierce protector to me, and the decision maker for a very indecisive me on everything. And I absolutely love you for that. We have also been through an almost life and death situation when I got into a mini car accident with you in it. But you were so calm and even went to the police station with me, waited for hours, and went home much, much later than planned. Sorry, Iris and Otto. What's best about having you in my life is that I've also gained a whole new German family. Like how I've replaced you when you've left Singapore, right, Iris and Otto? Just kidding. I can never replace you, of course, but your parents have always treated me like their own. And without you, I wouldn't have known them. I can't believe that you're finally married. I still remembered we have always talked about how we would be perfectly fine just having each other if we don't get married ever. And at some point, we had a plan to collect cats and live as neighbors. But of course, the Cupid came along one day when I remembered how happy you were telling me that you had the best date with the hottest guy ever right after your first date with Godwin. It was like love at first sight for you. And when I first met Godwin, I understood why. My first impression was that this guy is really chatty and smiley. He seems so happy all the time. And then I realized that's actually part of his natural smiley face, which is a good thing. Almost everyone I knew who have met him told me that he's a great guy, great charisma, and very charming. Even my parents were telling me that Anne is in good hands. And I can definitely see how happy he has made you. So yes, I'm very, very happy that you have found him, and that with you, he has created a very beautiful family with the two cutest and loveliest kids ever. And no, I'm totally not biased at all. So tonight, I wish you both a wonderful life together, filled with infinite happiness. May your future be bright and filled with the deepest joys and grandest adventures. And Godwin, continue to be that amazing man for Anne. Always treat her like a queen, respect her, and cherish her, because if not, we all in the bride squad will come for you. And now, let's all raise our glasses. We're gonna do a very Singaporean Chinese way of toasting. It's called yam seng, and we have to shout the word yam for as long as possible. The longer it is, the more blessing it is to the couple. And I'll probably need some help from the groomsmen team. Okay. Yeah. Let's make everyone. Shall we stand? 3 times. Okay. Cheers. Sorry. Okay, so while we are doing the yam seng, the bride and groom has to kiss the entire time. Yeah. No, okay, you can do one of it.
The first one.
The first one. All right, are we ready?
3,
2,
1.
Yeah! All right, second time. Same thing, but longer. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Last one. Let's do our best.
and loudest.
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Erica, for those vocal lessons. They were beautiful. All right, so I'll ask the groom, Godwin, to stay standing where you are, Godwin. It looks better for the video if you're standing there between everyone. So I'll hand the microphone over to Godwin to do a little speech.
Okay. Right. Try and be nice and short. But hey everyone, hope you're all having a good time. First off, I want to thank everyone here for attending tonight. It has been an effort, I know. I've always liked the idea of a destination wedding, and to be honest, I'm really glad we went through with it. There's about 50 of you flying in from overseas, and Anne and I just got in like earlier last month as well. So yeah, thank you. Round of applause to everyone for making it. Thank you. Yeah, there's too many people to name names, but everyone who came from Frankfurt, thank you very much. You guys flew the longest. And second runner-up is Chicago. And Chicago, sorry, you don't get anything. But on Monday, if you're not happy with your country, our asylum center opens. So feel free to stay. Erica, Hannah, and Avanti, wherever Hannah is. Each of you have been so important to Anna in 3 different stages of her life. I'm not sure everyone knows, but Erica planned a whole event called Gate Crashing, where she effectively tortured me and the boys this morning. So thank you very much for that. And thank you so much for the honor and the lovely words just now. To the boys, thank you for partaking in some shared trauma with me today. Like Nick said, we were grads. Dan and I lived with each other in New York. And these lads have kept me together through the highest highs and some pretty rough lows. I'm an only child, and you boys are the closest thing that I have to brothers. And like you said, we're more than brothers. So thanks for keeping me on my feet, keeping my nose clean, and helping me grow into the person I am today. I would insert an anecdote here, but as Nick said, every time we go out, somehow I just don't end up remembering the night, so I just got nothing here. Otto and Iris, you have welcomed me as one of your own. Iris, since the first time we met, almost 6 years to the day that Anna invited me to do a Yushen at your place for Chinese New Year. And in true Iris fashion, she was hosting a friend. She was graciously welcoming me, and then she went over to the casino. So Iris, we finish up at 11 tonight. The Crown will be open all day and all night. We've had nothing but love and support from you from day one, and particularly since Evan and Mia were born. So I really can't begin to show my appreciation for you, so thank you. And I promise to look after and for you always. Okay, stick with me, guys. This one's going to be a little dicey. 妈妈爸爸今天站着这，我的心里充满了感激。谢谢你们一直以来的辛勤付出和默默牺牲。你们为我付出了太多太多。Mom, Dad, standing here today, I'm filled with gratitude. Thank you so much for all the hard work and sacrifices you've made over the years. I would not be the person I am today without you. 我还记得小时候，妈妈经常带我去 Ashfield， 指着路边的人就说：“你看他们生活真不容易，如果你不好好学习，就跟他们一样的。”谁知道呢？事实证明，恐吓孩子的Erica, can you help with this word? 恐吓孩子的效果出奇的好，太好。Yeah, so I remember when I was a kid, Mom would take us shopping, and she'd just point at random people on the street. She'd be like, "Look at these people. Their lives are so difficult. If you don't study hard, that is going to be your life." So to a kid, that fear is pretty effective. 谢谢你们能给我最好的生活，也给我知和和能力，让我能走得更远。今天和你们一起分享我的喜悦，我真的太高兴了。更让我能感动的是，你们这么快接受了案，把它当了为自己人一样。Thank you so much for giving me an amazing life. You've really prepared me with the tools and the knowledge to take me far in life. And I am really happy to be here today to be able to celebrate my wedding with you. I know it has not been easy to get here. And what makes me happier is that you have accepted Anne so quickly and treated her as family from pretty much day one. In fact, 我还记得Anne第一次来悉尼来看我们，我妈妈把我拉到一边说：“哎，儿子啊，我知道你们年轻人思想开放，如果你和Anne想先有孩子，然后结婚，爸爸妈妈会接受的。”独立的，我爸把Anne带过去，就说：“Anne，嘿，你们打算什么时候结婚啊？” I still remember the first time that Anna came to Sydney to meet my parents. We had dinner, and then Mum pulled me aside after dinner, and she was like, "Hey, Godwin, come here." I know you kids of the new generation have some progressive ideas, so if you guys want to have kids before you get married, I want you to know Dad and I are okay with it. And unbeknownst to me, my dad, while my mum had pulled me aside, my dad was grilling Anne, and he was going, "So, when are you two going to get married, huh?" 爸爸妈妈，谢谢你们，我爱你们。希望今天我没有让你们希望你们为我们感到骄傲。So, Mom, Dad, thank you very much. We love you. We hope today that we haven't let you down. We've made you very proud. Finally, I want to give the biggest thank you of all to my lovely wife, Anna, without whom none of this would be possible tonight. As Nick said, and as I said earlier, my vows, we complement each other very well. She does all the planning, organizing, and literally bringing everything to life, and I benefit from it. So seriously, you brought everything to life. You made these incredible flower decorations over here by hand. So I want everyone to give a big round of applause to Anna. Avanti also helped. So you've already heard a lot about our relationship today and how we get together, but I just want to share one anecdote of why I love this woman, because I really want to celebrate her. So Anna takes an interest in other people's lives. She's nosy. In fact, in our first apartment in Melbourne, so there were some teens renting out the Airbnb next to us, and they were having a grand old time.
We had forgotten to lock the door. So about 2 a.m., two guys randomly walked into our apartment. I was dead asleep. And again, compliment. I sleep really well. Anna does not sleep very well. She wakes up really quickly. And she went up to confront them, and she told me all about it when I was up at about 5. She was like, I was on the couch all night.
Excuse me, I tried to wake you.
She did try to wake me. I'm a deep sleeper. And she was like, I'm so rattled. I've been shaking. I've been on the couch all night. Can you make sure these guys are gone? And immediately after she said that, we heard sounds of fighting in the next room. So I was like, okay, I've got to call the police. So I'm on the phone. I'm calling the police. I'm telling them where it's at. And I see Anna just get up from the couch, calm as can be, walk over to the bin and decide now is the best time to take the bins out and also check out what's going on over there. So yeah, she's a little nosy. But about last year, we heard some noise on the street, and Anna goes out to check it out. And I'm like, all right, I'll hear all about it when she gets back. And she's not back for an hour. And I was like, she is going to come with some juicy gossip. Turns out there was a girl in distress who didn't have her phone. She didn't know where she was. She was upset. People were avoiding her because they thought she was on something. But Anna reached out to the girl, calmed her down, listened to her, got in contact with the girl's mum, booked an Uber, and sent her on her way. Anna, you have the biggest heart of anyone I know, and you are the first to offer to help to those who can't, to those you care about. You are generous with your love, and you give so much of yourself. And as your husband, it is my privilege to make sure you receive ample love back. To me, the ideal love is a simmer that gets better over time. I've found that with Anna, and she has a lot of little rules that I delight in finding out. Every year has been better and better with you, and I grow to appreciate you more and more. There is so much more to find out about you, about us, and I eagerly anticipate doing so together with you. Now we are a complete family. So everyone, please raise a glass so we can toast Anna, to our enduring love. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much. So now we've come to the time where it's a special moment for all of us to witness something very special and beautiful. So I'm going to ask Godwin and Anne to please stand and to make their way to the dance floor. Round of applause for Godwin and Anne. Mr. and Mrs. Wang.
2 years ago, I renewed my license. Anyway, why I start my first life? Because I'm a need brilliance, the system's schooled them. We made them slip with the ruler. I lost a lot and learned a lot, but I'm still in the field like Sousa. Some fucking cheap. I break down cookies with all my peeps. Enemies out of the world, and I can give you and all you can see. Time is money, only difference is I own it. Like a stopwatch, let's stop time and enjoy this moment, darling. Don't you worry,
지금 잘 모르겠지. 원하면
push me, and then just hurt me till I get my satisfaction.
Till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me, and then just hurt me till I get my satisfaction.
Till I can get my satisfaction. tonight's gonna be a good night. That 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 tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight, let's live it up. I got my money, let's live it up. Go out and smash it, like oh my God. Jump out that sofa, let's get it on. I know we'll have a ball. Get down, girl, just bring it up. I feel fresh and I wanna let it go. Let's go way out, taste that losing our control. Fill up my cup, I'm on top. Look at it dancing, just take it off. Let's spin the town, we'll shut it down. Let's burn the roof, and then we'll do it again. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, do it, and do it, and do it. Let's do it, and do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. 'Cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. 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 Tonight's the night. Hey, let's live it up. I got my money. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it. Like oh my God. Jump out that sofa. Let's get it on. Fill up my cup. Mine's on top. Look at it dancing. Just take it on. Let's take it down. We'll shut it down. Let's burn the roof, and then we'll do it again. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, and do it, and do it. Let's do it, and do it, and do it, and do it, do it, do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, do it. Here we go, here we go. We got a rock. Easy go. Now we on time. And feel the shot. Body rock, like it don't stop. Round and round, up and down, around the clock. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what we say. wanna be my lover? You gotta stop your body down and wine is all around. Stop your body down and wine is all around. Stop your body down and wine is all around. Stop your body down and sing and say ah. Sky fell on me, and I decided you look well on me, well on me. So let's go somewhere no one else can see you and me. Turn the lights down now, I'll take you by the hand and do another drink. Drink it if you can you spend a little time? Time is slipping away from the first day. Stay with me, I can make you glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came, I'm glad you came. Someone no one else can see you and me. Turn the lights out now I'll take you by the hand and do another drink. Drink it if you can you spend a little time? Time is slipping away from us, so stay with me, I can make you glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came, I'm glad you came. The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here and now. My universe will never be the same. I'm glad you came, I'm glad you came.
That's it for me, guys. Good night.